All right. Put this closer to my face. I'll lower the gain a little bit. My voice is a little crackly today. Oh, I didn't get a drink. Well, I'll use this day old drink. Pull up the chat. Hi guys, so I'm still deciding what to make, but we have to do menswear. We haven't done menswear in a little bit. I think that's only fair. Move me a little bit more to the side, not that side. There we go. So for those of you who are on Discord, are you liking the event? I'll ask in the Discord as well, but for the chat, are you guys liking the event reminder that's on Discord? Where I create an event and have it scheduled for the next week? Or do you prefer me to actually like make announcements? Still trying to decide what to make. Because all the medieval stuff is like not actually medieval. Hi guys! I've named it medieval, but I'll probably just do medieval menswear later. I can change the names. But I haven't decided if we want to do... Do you guys want to see drapey? Or do you guys want to see like kind of more quilted armor doublet style? Hi Rosemary! I'm trying to decide which one to do. Either... I'm going to be turning this way in a minute. But trying to decide if I want to do doublets or like more accurate draped peasants. Because I haven't done medieval menswear in a while, and just basic, super basic clothes might be good for some people. So I'm currently scrolling through the internets right now. I like to have the stream up. There we go. Or the chat up. Let's see. Because there have been people just asking how to just kind of drape on a character, but that's a little too fast. So I'm trying to find a way to... or figure out a character that would allow that drape to happen on their shoulder. And not look like a dork. I'm just scrolling through photos right now. I'm like, what do we want to use as reference today? Because I was thinking about doing a men's like shirt, some just basic pants, like just costumey fantasy medieval. Maybe make the wrap shoes some sort of armor and bag. This will probably end up being a two-parter again if we did that. And then a coat of some sort. Or an, upper layer, either doublet or quilted doublet. I keep going towards that. So I'm trying to decide while everyone's kind of coming in early. Oh, we will go to the 10 minutes, and I kind of will let the chat help me pick here. Do you guys want to see drapey stuff? Do you want to see more historically accurate medieval? Do you want to see fantasy? Because we're going to do menswear today. Because we haven't done menswear in a little bit. It's only fair. I'm scrolling through medieval costumes and I'm like, oh, what is it? What was that show? Gallivant. Oh, love that show. That's so good. I mean, I could. It's technically kind of medieval fantasy-ish. What's medieval fantasy? Because otherwise it's just kind of not the prettiest. Oh, for thickness, you just, for thickness, for leather, it's super easy. You just apply, number one, if you want leather, you apply the leather fabric preset, and then you apply, if you want really thick leather, you increase the simulation thickness. Or, yeah, simulation thickness. And there you go. You have a leather. Make sure you don't do the lamb skin. You do the other one that's stiffer. Maybe we'll do some gambesons. Like leather and quilted gambeson. Might do short or a long one. Because I want to try to make him look cool. So that's why I'm just like, what? How do we not make it nerdy? In-game, yeah, that's a game fantasy medieval, so that's the thing. So I'm like, maybe I can just get away with some fantasy things. I have like 20 tabs up right now. And a bunch of like historical tabs open, but I want to focus it before I show any like reference pictures. Let's see. Do we want like a wizard, or do we want... Right, that's more character driven, so I'm like, I'm calling it medieval, but I'm probably just gonna change the title. So the question is, do we want like wizard robes, drapes, multiple softer layers, or do we want some form of armor or like a cleric mix? Because I'm probably gonna change the title of the YouTube video. What does the chat want to see? Because I think we'll do some leather somewhere. Hello! Welcome in, Fredo. I want to see... Types in medieval, ends up making D&D characters. I mean, might as well. It's so... Like Rosemary said, like, it's very character driven. Oh, rogue. Oh, we could do a rogue. I do like that idea. Yeah, you want to 4K monitor. You want to do compatibility mode for your you right click your software, you choose compatibility mode, and then you turn on scaling to match the decision you've picked. There's a couple of fixes on the forum for the scaling, for like specifics. I don't have a 4K monitor, so I can't show you. Also, that's not the point of the stream. So it'll be on the forum, but do what I said. Smocking takes so much time and people get so bored. There's enough smocking tutorials on YouTube already. And it increases the collision, the time it takes to simulate, I should say, not collision. Be due to the collision with it. I love smocking, but let's see. So we'll probably go with the rogue idea. If I can type in the words. Basically just very simple, thinner gambesons with probably like a cloak at the very end of some sort. Leather patches. Mismatching items. Obviously, we gotta mismatch that. Unless they're a very rich rogue that's willing to spend money. One more minute and then I'll do the super basic spiel now that I've put all the links in the description of the YouTube videos. Let's see. Mail. So do we want a dashing rogue or do we want like a I slapped all my stuff together rogue? Otherwise, I'm going to pick in a minute. You guys can say that while I quickly read off my links. They're going to be in the description, but I will post them here for the at the very beginning just for Twitch here. So, hello everybody, I am Meg and I am a 3D designer and community manager with Marvelous Designer. Welcome to the official channels on Twitch and on YouTube. For those of you who are new here, here's where we either decide as a group what we want to make in the Discord channels, which I will link, in the Discord server, which I will link now. Or I pick whatever I want because I didn't think ahead far enough. It happens. And so I've linked in the chat our Discord channel, and then I've also linked the website where you can get Pug Rogue. Pub Rogue could still be a like rich, like I spent a lot of money on this matching set, or it could be, you know, in the corner. So I don't know. But I like the idea. And then I've also linked our website. So for those of you in the future, the software I'm using exclusively is Marvelous Designer, which is the name of the channel that you're watching and the name of the software that I will be using. And for those of you who are on Twitch, here's the link to both our YouTube channel and then a specific tutorial playlist. It's relatively older, but the concepts still do apply, just the UI is a little different. We are working on making some new ones that are more updated. And so here's a link to our YouTube channel. We do let the Twitch videos expire, but they do stay on our YouTube channel in perpetuity, at least for now, until maybe we decide to remove live streams for some reason. And then there's also a link to our basic beginner tutorials. So if you are brand new to Marvelous Designer and you want to get started, they are kind of the best practice recommendations for learning how the software works, for following along, and kind of setting you up for success and learning best practices for working in the software. Many people struggle with, oh, I'm just going to make something I'm just going to make it and I don't need to learn anything. And then they're like, okay, well, why does this look weird? And it's like, because your pattern doesn't actually work or doesn't fit. And so learning a little bit of the basics will always help you get started using the software. And then last but not least, we have the support kind of ticket. If you have an account with us, you can just like log in and create a support ticket if you found a bug maybe, or if you're having difficulty actually utilizing the software, or something's just wigging out with your actual file. You can always contact us through the website, and it'll be a little bit faster of a support ticket than if you just like tweeted at us or something. So today we have kind of medieval, oops, didn't mean to move my head. We're working on some medieval stuff. We're thinking about it. I'm just looking for some rogue characters here. I like the idea of pub rogue, but I also like the idea of covering quilting and leather is just a little bit. So I also kind of want to give him like a vest, even though it's not applicable. Where is that one picture I saw that I kind of liked? I have too many tabs. So I'm thinking some sort of a doublet. Where is it? So basic pants that'll probably end up getting more and more patches on them. Doublets with leathers. Okay, here we go. Here's some stuff I think these would be good bones. Just a longer doublet. I'm trying to move my mouse here. Like a longer doublet over some pants, and then a couple layers or something more like this with the shorter, I'm sorry, doublet, gambeson. The bit shorter of the pieces. Let's see. Go back in my tab nest. Trying to find. Let's refresh here, and then we can at least get our avatar into the scene. So for all these tutorials, I do use the basic avatar that comes with the software. So I'm just selecting the avatars, and I'm going to the male folder, and I'm going to bring in one of our male avatars. I always just pick the one at the top. He's so pink. I'll do this one. Let's see. So I'm thinking at least a gambeson. I'm still looking for that photo that I was referencing earlier. Hello, welcome in. Let's see. Let's find a better reference. Because I'm trying to maybe not do teal all the time. As you guys know, I love teal a little too much. So I'm trying to avoid that, like just a little bit. And I know I want to do teal and gold, and I need to not do that. Okay, so I'm thinking a little bit like I was gonna call it like a greasy rogue. So I'm thinking some like basic pants, like a stolen gambeson that's older, that has some patches that he's applied himself, so it'll be a little bit wonky. And then So we can do some like stitches. And then I'm thinking some like weird sash that this guy for some reason really likes, that he like stole off this rich guy. That's he's using to over his like a belt that has a bunch of like leather bags, and then some sort of jacket that's either a shorter crop jacket or something that's longer and kind of very mismatched, that he would either have like weapons inside of, or a shorter one where we can put stuff on his arms. But so first of all, we'll make basic pants. Some basic pants here. The question is, do we want to do tighter pants or like poofy pants? How lazy is this guy? Do we want this guy to like prefer comfort? Because we can make it like slightly poofy. Well, we'll use these basic pants that I have. No. And I'm going to delete his shoes. Delete hair and shoes, delete hair and shoes, because I'm probably going to give him some fake shoes. And I'm not going to bring him back to the ground. I'm going to leave it like this. So I can make him some shoes, just those wrap style. So these are some basic pants that do fit the avatar. We'll also just do a gambeson on top. So I'm just going to get away with not fantasy pants. But let's see if we can make them a bit baggier by just making these pretty straight. So I'm going to keep these tapered, so we can either do a couple of things. Let's just play with the pants a little bit, and then we'll decide how we want to do this. I'm using the Z hotkey, and I'm just going to go right ahead and delete my curve points for my sides of my pants. Delete all curve points. I want to see, oops. If we want to do a bit poofier on the sides. How to learn beginner level. That's great. I just linked a bunch of beginner garments. A bunch of beginner... He looks bowling. I just linked a bunch of beginner tutorials just above your comment, Karki. Little bow-legged boy. That's really funny. Okay, we're not doing that. Okay, we're going back to the original pant. Simulate. Don't hit the 10 key. I keep doing that. I'm going to give him a waistband just so I can keep these in place as I make changes. So I'm selecting the front and the back, right-clicking, and offset as an internal line. I like to do 20 millimeters. That's like about almost a half an inch. Just a little shy. I think I will do a little wider. Because maybe we'll give him a belt. It's pretty low rise, but we'll do 50. That's fine. And then I will select my lines and choose cut and sew. Select my waistband. I'm just going to move it out of the way first, and then I am going to freeze this with Control K. Okay, I'll stop sitting like a gremlin. Okay. So now that my waistband's in place, I can go ham on what I want to do with the pants, or you guys can also talk about what you'd like to see for the pants. Because these are just some really basic slacks that sort of fit our avatar here. We can make them tighter. There's a couple of ways to do that. You can easily, the easiest and laziest way is to select all of this and go to shrinkage, weft, and warp. So weft is left and right, warp is up and down. And I can make this like 80% if I wanted some tight pants. But I don't want to do it the lazy way. We're going to do it the patterning way. Because we could also give him some leather pants. which would be some sort of jeans, pro level. So we're not doing pro level tips and tricks. Hey, guess what? Guess what? We have pro level tips and tricks videos on our YouTube channel that you should watch instead of the live stream that we've decided to make a rogue in. You can watch it on our YouTube channel that you are currently watching on. But would a rogue wear overalls? That's the question. So we've decided that it's going to be a rogue. Maybe I should put some words on the screen. I don't think a rogue would wear overalls in a medieval time period. He'd be a relatively nerdy little rogue. I'm just going to give him a little bit of square pants, and then we'll probably just call it for the pants. Make sure that the side seam is going perpendicular to the ground. The specs of my computer. Hey, guess what? The specs of my computer are listed in the YouTube description of the video. Let's see. That's fine. I think it would be kind of funny if, like, a rogue, if we kept with the character of the rogue and he was forced to wear, like, if he was forced to wear them and he's, like, real, like, snooty about it. That'd be really funny. But yeah, if you want to decide and if you want to help pick what we're going to make, feel free to join the Discord, which I linked above and in the YouTube description of the video. And that's where you can discuss with everyone what you want to see in the next stream. I'm going to delete the curve points for the crotch. I know it doesn't fit, but it's because these are going to be tucked into pants. In fact, or tucked into pants. These are going to be tucked into his boots. In fact, we're going to do the boots next, I think. And this is a trick. So if I'm making boots, I can either just save these pants. I don't like them much, but I will make my shrinkage weft and warp super, super tight. And then I'm going to deactivate the pants. So now he's wearing some awesome tights. So you could actually remove the pants, but if you're doing layers, you make these really, really tight, the layer that's going to go underneath, and then you apply the layer that's going to go over it, simulate, and then you can re-simulate the legs, or whatever's being put into the shoe. So I haven't made shoes in a bit, so let's go ahead and do that. And I'm gonna leave the normal this way. Actually, overalls tutorial. I just remembered. I've already done overalls. It's on the, what is it called? Which stream was that? The overall stream was the cottagecore. I made overalls already. I forgot. I'm sorry. So I probably won't be making overalls again anytime soon. I want to turn off. You know, I realized it says opaque surface. I've submitted it to be changed, but it's not actually opaque. It is translucent. So I'm going to be making his little, like, boot wraps. So we're making some really cheap little medieval style shoes. So I'm going to be using the line avatar tools, or the draw on tools. So these are the line tools. I've popped them out. I'm going to be using the line pattern tool here. And you can do it from below or you can do it from above. I'm just making the sole of his little boot here first. And I have no reference for this. So I'm just going, matching the foot. Okay, whatever. This isn't perfect, but that's fine. I can change it so long as I've got it completed. Beautiful. It's not perfect. So let's fix this. So now that I've applied this, I've connected them all together, and I'm going to trace as internal shape or convert to internal shape. I don't like to trace because it does leave the line on the 3D pattern. So I do convert to internal shape so I can make changes without having that reference line. Some people like having the reference. I just personally don't. Because I like it to be as clean as I can. Not always perfect, but... And convert to curve point, because we'll either give him, you know, fancy shoes or something. Book list for what? My personal favorite book list? You should join our Discord channel, which is linked in the description of this video, which has a bunch of awesome pattern references. And textbooks that I recommend and I personally like. Why am I not sleeping? A person from Korea. It is the middle of my workday. In fact, it is the middle of the afternoon. So, I mean, I could nap. You guys want me to just nap instead and cancel the stream? I can do that. That's the easiest thing for me to do. Napping's my favorite hobby. Aside from going down rabbit holes of medieval patterns, because I don't know why I do that. So I'm using the V hotkey here, which is the edit curve point tool, so I'm cleaning up my work here. I'm just trying to give him a little bit of a toe box. Let's turn this back to not opaque. Rotate a little bit. Rosemary. Well, I'm sorry. I'm a little spicy today. I don't know why. Well, there's a lot of great resources are just listed in the Discord channel, like in the specific. We have a whole channel category called references. So there's a bunch of free stuff there. Right now I'm cleaning around the back of the heel here. Because remember, this doesn't have to be perfect. This is our little medieval rogue guy. And we'll just create the character as we go. I'm going to make this toe box, this heel, this wrap, either at the very least the front of the toe will be frozen and will be solid and rigid so it won't bend, because you don't want to see those grippers like in the cloth. Put those grippers away. Actually, this is going to be a great example too for some lessons. So just so you know, the grain is going up and down and left and right. So grain is the warp, weft is left and right, but the grain on the shoe here, you can see the shoe is going to be diagonal, so I'm going to have to fix that. But first, let's go ahead and cut the shoe out. Oh, look at Dan. There's the thing. So someone wanted to see leather, so actually this is a great time to do that. Make sure that you turn on the thick textured surface, and this is the basic fabric one, so let's bring some leather in. all of these little arrows, for those of you who are newer to this version of Marvelous Designer, these arrows, I can change the mode or the version that we used to have as an option. I can do that to any window. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Fabric. It does leave the property editor up, or not Fabric. I'm going to go to the library. So I do have to just kind of move the property editor. And then I'm just going to go to the Fabric folder. So these are all of the fabric presets that are available. And I can look for leather, or I can just type in. If I can type in leather, and we've got two types of leather here. We have lambskin and then trim. So I'm just going to drag and drop trim into my scene. And we used to have another one, but I guess it's been, name has been changed. Let me see. So this is alphabetical, so L. So the lambskin leather is, as you can see in this picture, really, really soft. So I don't want that. Give me the names. Okay, we're gonna do it this way. Trim full grain leather. Make sure that you've picked trim full grain leather. And then I'll go back to my fabric tab here and bring this back up. And I'm going to give the trim full grain leather a color. We're going to do the... Why is it so orange? I want a cooler tone. Okay. So we can see it's pretty thin. Make sure I'm on thick textured surface. And then I'm going to increase the simulation thickness of this piece. So I'm just selecting the piece, going to my property editor. I'll bring this back down to how it should look. And then I have additional collision thickness, and then I have rendering thickness. So I'm going to use rendering thickness to make it slightly thicker. You can see that it's become thicker. I'm probably going to do 10. And then it's got curved sides. I don't want that, honestly, right now. I can maybe fix it later. So here's our awesome beginning of our shoe. His heel should actually be longer. So I'm actually going to rotate this. And I'm going to make sure that my grain, do you see that my grain's not going up and down where the shoe is? I can actually just change that. It doesn't really matter with leather, but this is just a good example of it here. Leather in Marvelous Designer. In real life, leather is also very stretchy in a specific direction. But okay, so we have our heel here. We have our foot. I need this to go up onto his foot and kind of shape a little bit more. So I'm going to go back and go to, not monochrome surface, thinner surface, so I can actually see which direction my normal is. So I'm going to use pressure to make it go up. I do like where it is on the toe, so I will use the select mesh box. Select that mesh, and I'm just going to right click in the 3D window and choose freeze. Then I'm going to select this and apply a value of pressure. So pressure is going to push in whatever direction I choose. So for a positive pressure, it'll shoot from the flipped normal to the normal. So I'll just make this 5, not 53, 5. And it'll kind of push up to his heel. I'm just going to stop there. Make pressure 0 because that sometimes can cause problems. And I'm going to turn on the thick textured surface again. I'm like, do I even want to give him... delete freeze region. Do I even want to give him arch support? You could put a heel here if you wanted right now. I don't know if I want to. But we're going to continue forward, and I'm going to decide on that later. I will freeze the heel, or the sole of the shoe. Actually, I'm going to make this a lower particle distance before I do that. I'm going to make it 5. And I will give it pressure, and I'm just going to see how this looks, because I'm tired of looking at them grippers. That's fine. gonna freeze it. Because this might not be as thick as I want. Like, this might be too thick. So now we'll work on the shoe. Actually, let me look at the... Oh, my lord. Before I go insane. Because we're not going to do, like, the full, like, sharp-toed medieval shoe. Nah. We're not doing that. Alright, so I do have two options for you, chat. We can do a leather little short boot with wrapping on top, or we can do a leather boot that goes up to the top and has a little bit of wrinkling. Which would you like to see? Because I will style... They're going to be the similar finished shape, but it does give us a bit of a couple of options. So either a tall boot or short boot with like a patched on. What would he do? Who I forgot what our guy has here. I don't remember. But I do know that I want to do this. He's gonna have no arch support. That's why he's always grumpy. Let's see. Well, I'm going to make the toe. I'm going to make the shoe while you guys decide. The beginning of the shoe while you guys decide on that. Hello, I'd like to zoom into those toes. Thank you. Toes. Actually, let me find this shoe pattern again. So what do you want to see? Do you want to see more wrapping on the foot or on the leg? Don't make me do it the hard way. We can give him some pointed toes. I'm going to think about the pointed toe. I'm going to think about it while I'm drafting. His little pattern here. So I'm making the basic shape. I'm just using the segment tool here. And then I'm using the curve tool. Let's see. So now I'm making that toe box. Unfold with symmetrical editing. These should not be symmetrical, but we'll fix it as we're going. And then convert to curve point. I'm cleaning this up just a little bit. I'm going to put these on the sides of the foot. Fine, we're going to leave it simple. Come on. I'll make this less sharp. Because we can always change it once we got a shoe on him. I do want to remove any points though, so you can see here that this is not creating a smooth sewing curve or a smooth line for it to sew into. And so that is something just to watch out for. And these are symmetrically linked, which is why I'm doing this portion now. This is why I don't like working with Bezier curves. Alright, let's see how this sews in. So this is the tip of the shoe, so I'm sewing from the tip of the toe. Yeah, this is not going to fit properly, but we'll fix it as we're going. And I'm going to choose superimpose over. And where do you go? superimpose over, turn off thick textured surface, and then just throw this on top of his toe. There we go. So this is quite, the toe's going straight through it. So we're going to make this a little bit denser. There we are. We might give him some little pointy toesies. But you can see that this is also why shoes are not always the same on both sides symmetrically. Let's see. And I'm using the edit sewing tool as I'm making these changes. Unfortunately, this is a little bit easier to work when you have the shoe on and then the shoe in place, and then we can kind of decide how the shoe wants to work for us. So you can see here, the more I'm making this longer, the more pressure that's actually putting on the toe and on the back of the, and on the pinky toe here. So he's not a real person, so I don't care about his comfort, but as you're making this, you can see that you're gonna get a wonky little shape here. So there's a couple of things you can do. You can increase the thickness rendering. We'll make it 5 for now. And then I'm going to make it a thick textured surface. This is also why you don't always do thick textured surface, because sometimes you get this weird look. And then also why I want to give him pointed toesies. We're gonna go there. We are going to go there today. C. And I'm deleting. For now, he's gonna be a bit nerdy with his weird little toes that point. Why? Because I've said so, and no one in the chat has said I can't do it, and that they don't like it, so. So we still don't like how this is looking, so I'm going to apply a little pressure into the shoe. It's still very tight, as you can see, so we're going to... So the pressure is not actually affecting the fit of the shoe right now, so that's why it's not actually inflating when I wanted it to. My normals are correct, right? Or am I going crazy? Look at this little pointy shoe. So this is still tight on the toe, so I'm actually going to go back to what we had before. And I'm just going to make this fit a little bit better. And actually make this smaller so that I'm getting more volume in that toe box. My normals are correct. Let's see. And this is leather. Okay. His little toes. Fine. We'll do it this way. Yeah, you shift over here, buddy. So I'm trying to accommodate for this. I could just make it thicker. We can always check the thick textured surface and how that's looking. Because I'm not going to remove that bottom portion until I've got like a whole kind of shoe on. Oops. It's really helpful if you keep hitting the 10 key. I promise. It's going to be your favorite thing. And the stupid Windows key. I'm going to remove the linked editing. So I can just leave it like this. This is what often a lot of shoes look like, but... Oh. So I just used, I selected my pattern and I hit F. Why am I not? Is my stream to YouTube gone? Oh, I'm not getting the chat from YouTube for some reason. Hold on, I'm pulling it up. I'll pop the chat out. I don't know why, but I lost all of the YouTube chat. Okay, hold on. Wow, I missed a lot. Okay. So last I saw, I was like, why is no one talking? So the last I saw was I cackled a few times. Did you see the drawing tablet for this work? I don't use a drawing tablet, but some people do. I don't personally like it just because I am just so much more used to a three button mouse. And if you check the YouTube description, it's telling you exactly everything I'm using. How many software I learned? I know a lot of software. Drawing pattern is part of the drawing of the pattern is part of the tool set. Oh, okay. I see. Rosemary, you're answering some questions. A leather boot. Free texture website. Okay. I'm caught up now. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm probably going to make this wider. Like you said, Rosemary. I really wanted to give it that, a little bit of a tighter shape, but it is the better way to go. It's just to make it wider. And I'm giving it, pressure so it'll stand. So I don't know why, but I lost, connection to the chat for my restream. But as long as you guys are still getting it, that's fine. I just lost the chat. So there's this beautiful shoe. It totally fits. And because it actually doesn't matter to me, I'm going to play this game. Cut. Just to make it fit a bit better. This is how you can also work your way into making a shoe if you don't know what you want or what you're doing. And it's getting us that shape much better because there's less space going around it. So that's a lot better. And as you can see, it's a little funky in shape, but that's fine. We can always change it. You guys are still getting the YouTube video, right? Sorry, I'm just making sure because I've lost connection. I think it's still streaming, but I want to make sure. Okay, it is showing that it's live. Okay, good. It is just a little behind. So we're making some funky shoe here. It's not going to be the prettiest shoe. That is 18th century. Give me medieval, please. There. That is not what I'm looking for. Medieval? Medieval. Yes, here we are. Because we might just go with the full wrap shoe. Alright, I'm seeing that it's going in. That's funny. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and zoom as fast as I can, because just to make these little boots, because we can always make changes to them, but I am making them from scratch. Superimpose side. Up there. Where is this missing? Ah. Unfortunately, these are sometimes the same color, so you do need to just make some fixes. And since I missed it, did you guys decide on what you wanted to see style-wise for the shoe? Is this getting, does this have pressure? No, this does not have pressure. So it is leather, so it's not going to fit perfectly. I mean, we can mold it if you wanted to. Leather can be wet molded, but in this case, we're going fast. And you guys haven't decided what you want. If you want a leather shoe, like a full leather boot, or tiny shoe. Maybe I'll do a kind of lace-up thing. Either way, we can give this, let's see. Probably make this less pressure, just for the sake of it. Give that a little more space. Okay, so because I was talking about a taller boot, let's see. Because the other thing is, I'm just going to make this like a sock, and then we'll design the shoe. I've decided that that's what's going to happen, at least for now. And as you can see here, I'm using all leather. I do want to reduce the back of this heel. Because someone was asking about leather earlier. So here is your leather. I'm going to cut this in half. Cut and sew. Make sure it's good enough. So now I can do... These are not symmetrically linked, by the way, because left and right are going to be different. Ooh, I need to not do that. Trying to figure out how much we want to care. Oh, hey, YouTube's back on that chat. Okay. Well, I'm going to give it a tongue for the shoe, so we're going to do it that way. At the very least for now. And I don't want to do that. I want to do rectangle. And I want to curve. Smooth curve tool just a little bit. Is it symmetrical? Absolutely not. Hi! So we've chosen to do a rogue. Sharana, we've chosen to do a rogue of some sort. That's about as far as we've gone. Superimpose side. Okay, that was not helpful. Right now I'm just making his little, like, kind of like little wrap shoes. I haven't decided if I want to do like lace-up shoes or what. But we have something on his toesies, so we can hide them. Ooh, wrong way. So I'm using the free sewing tool here to do my sewing and kind of like watch what's going on and see how it's fitting. We can see that this is, in fact, quite wide, which lets me do a taper. I want it to be tight on him. There we go. Tighter. Because we can do some tall boots. Just holding shift. But when I hold shift, it does warp my patterning. Yep, we are using the trim leather right now for this. And where is this? I'm just fixing this a little bit. So when I did that pattern, like shift that you saw, it did warp my sewing. So that's what I'm fixing right now. Oh, what did I do? Oh, yes. Whoopsie doodles. There we go. Hi, can you maybe sort your life out? That'd be great. There we go. It's like, why is it dancing? Oh, there's a missing stitch. I am not drinking water. You can't tell me what to do. So now that I've done that, I'm again just increasing my sewing relationships using the edit sewing tool. Oops. So we can see here something's going on. It's vibrating angrily, which is not something we want. So let's check our sewing. And again, it is because of this gap here that I've left. So if you have that happen after it was stable, check your sewing. I'm going to add 5 collision thickness just so like we have that thicker leather look. So we can see here I want it tighter around the foot. Let's make this a smaller particle distance. We'll make these 10. Make them 10. So I'm just forcing this into place. It's not like how design works at all. But we can see, I'm like, okay, so this is how like my awesome sexy shoe is looking. Let's see. So I can see as I'm working how it's going. So that's why I do simulate as I'm making changes to see if those changes apply and I like them or applicable to what I'm trying to get out of this. So here's our our awesome boot shape. I could fix this a little bit. Okay, I'm going to turn off simulation, turn off freeze, and then just see what happens here. Okay, cool. Not bad, not bad. Let's see if I... Ah, that's so much better. He's going to have his beautiful pointed toesies. We're going to leave that there. Just like that. All of the shoe. You all become 10 at least. And then let's see how we like her. Don't like curved side geometry. Let's see. It's not that clean. That's why. This is 10. We'll make it 5. Just so it all kind of matches. I don't know if we're going to do lacing. Because we're doing, you know, medieval something or other. But we could. I do need to fix this here, though. I don't quite like that. The fit on the ankle is funky. Sure would be nice if I could see his foot. Because I'm doing the funky little leather wrap style shoe, it's now fitting closer. What if I did make this 10? Because it's pulling at the arch here. Would here be better for lacing or working with tubing, so piping? It depends on what you want to do. If you actually want the lacing to do something, you could do lacing. It's a style choice. I know it's not the best answer, but I'm just going to give it curved side geometry just because I'm rude. The little toe, it's curled in. Come here, you. Now that I like where it is, I'm going to freeze. There's some that have big buttons. There's some that have a bunch of other stuff. Right now, I'm just trying to get these shoes to look like... I'm just trying to get some boots on them. Really. And then to accommodate for the... There's a bunch of different styles. You can look at the actual, like, historical items if you really wanted. Because I've got a bunch up here. And I just used X with the transform pattern tool because I'm accommodating for his... for going up the leg now. Because this is absolutely not perfect. But we're making his little leg sock first before we do anything else. I don't want that. One hour. All right, thanks. I figured this was going to be a two-parter anyway. But we've got a shoe on him. That's all that really matters. So, it's ugly. Don't look at my pattern. Control-C, Control-D to make a symmetrically linked piece. And we're going to put it on the other foot. We will decide later. Probably the second half of the stream. What he will be wearing, or what these styles will be. But guess what? They're there. They're on his legs. We have something. I didn't plan to make shoes during this, So oops. So I'm going to freeze, well, not freeze the shoes. We're going to move on to the rest of like the basics of the shirt, and then we can start focusing on details. So I'm going to reactivate the pants, and I showed you the trick of the weft and warp. It's at 50%. I'm going to make it back to 100%. And I'm going to make sure this is a layer -1. So it's going to go underneath the shoes. Woohoo! Now they're mad. That's okay, because it wasn't activated. So what I am going to do is I'm just doing this for now. I'm cutting the top half off. Not that top half. Actually, no, I'm going to go back in time. So before we do that, freeze the bottoms again. I'm going to activate my pant legs and make sure that the shoes will go over the pant legs without causing any collision issues. So I'll make them, oops. So I'm just going to activate them. I'm not going to increase the weft and warp back up to the original. I am just activating these shoes. And that is why. Layer -1. Make sure that they tuck in to the boots. Now that they're being calculated into the simulation, now I can make these back up to the 100. Make sure there's no pressure. And so now I've tucked in my pants into my boots. We can make changes to this later. I don't know what we want to do yet. I do know I want them to be taller later. I didn't want to spend the whole stream on shoes. Okay. Because shoes are quite complex. And remember to account for the shape of the thigh. There we go. That's a little bit better of a height. I need the back to be higher. All right, there we go. That's a little better. Okay. We've got his pants, super basic pants. Let's see. Because we can probably put... Because we'll probably just put a bunch of, like, leather straps on him for, like... Because he's a rogue. So, like, knives and stuff. And he's not getting heels. I think he deserves to have funky little shoes. We can decide the design. Like, I could do buttons, but I don't want to... The thing is that we can't do those parts yet, Sharana, until later on in the design anyway, because I'm going to be adding more and more complex, smaller pieces, unless I wanted this to be another piece. Yeah, this is the medieval menswear that we were talking about. So we're doing a rogue. Like I said earlier, we're doing a rogue. But it's, like, obviously medieval fantasy. I wanted to do at least his undershirts. It's like medieval, but fantasy. Cancel. Save your project. Save. Save as project. We're not getting balloon pants. Those are not actually medieval period. Did you know that? It's kind of annoying. Because that's more complex and more fibers. Also, a rogue wouldn't have balloon pants. Oh no. T-shirt. Alright. File. Save as project. Don't know why you called it that. I guess these are going to be new assets called t-shirts. You guys saw I accidentally saved over my file. Yeah, I know, it keeps coming back to Renaissance. I don't like... Medieval is not the best. I have some medieval textbooks, Rosemary. Like, you and I know. Yeah, if you want balloon pants, Renaissance. I mean, that would be a rogue-like, but... Oh my god. Keep getting spam calls, man. Where's my little... Okay. I want to give him a little undershirt. So, add to workspace, don't open, add. No. Perfect. That's everything I didn't want. I can make it from scratch, but that's a bunch of squares. Just remember all of the details we do at the end, because it gets more and more dense, the smaller pieces you go, and you want to work with less, you want to work with a little bit less in the beginning. You don't want it to be too complex, otherwise your simulation will get really slow. So, I don't know what you mean by chemical projects, but okay. Close this. So I just have a basic shirt. I could have made it from a square. I just know this fits, and this is a 2-hour live stream, so this is a little easier. You can make it from scratch, but I won't be making it from scratch. I'm just making a type of a poet shirt, cut and sew. It's not entirely accurate, but most of this won't even be seen, because I'm going to make him a doublet. Uh, 20 particle distance, 10 particle distance. We're going to throw linen into the mix here. So going back to my library. Why are you doing this to me? Oh, it's because I have fabric in the seam. Oh no, there it goes. Can I? Oh, okay. There we go. I'm gonna do linen for his shirt. That'd be great. Thank you for showing me linen. I don't... Okay. And going back to fabric, putting back my property editor. We'll do a bit of an off-white. A little dingy white. And apply linen to all of this. Just so I can get what it's going to look like. Maybe I don't want linen. Why is it so chonky? Is this bottom white linen? Well, fine. Do cotton Oxford as the material property, but linen as the texture. Why does it feel like there's pressure on this shirt? There's no pressure. Sir, what are you doing? Gravity's on. Why are you all floaty? Well, I'm just going to close this and open another instance of Marvelous Designer. File, open, project. Desktop. Medieval Rogue Boy, come here. Fine, we're going to do a new project. We're going to remake that shirt. No. So I'm going to save this. Normally, as you guys see me work, I like to do separate pieces that go together. So we're going to do this again. We're going to simulate this shirt. It's probably something I was doing. So let's see if it's just the shirt, if it was something else. But this will at least let us keep moving forward. So I'm making that little poet shirt, super basic. Cut and sew again. Actually, I don't want it that low. Cut and sew. This time I'm not going to do the underarms because that was a poor choice that I made. There we go. Merging my center fronts together. Oh, actually, I don't want to do that. I want to do a little V-neck here. Split. $80. And then I want to do fine. We'll do the internal line way. Actually, I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to have it be like a permanently open V-neck. That's what I was going to do. That's what you saw me considering. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to make sure it just opens up. There we go. You know what, actually? I want to do a different thing. I want to use the modular configurator, and I want to use that fitted shirt that the men have. The closer t-shirts, maybe not shirt. The t-shirts, let's see. Use the drop shoulder, because these are a bit more fitted than that super old. That's like a block, is what I was using. And we'll have the long sleeve. I did not put them in the correct pose, so I'm just gonna fix that real fast. Yeah, that fits a little bit better. And I don't... Actually, I can use that. I'm going to remove the modular frame. Don't care. Remove. Yes. And if you're zooming around like me, sometimes your camera will decide to just go somewhere because your mouse decided that that's what it wanted to do today. So make sure that your sleeves are correctly on. Okay, now I'm going to do this. Holding shift to create a straight line, and then cut and sew. Remove link to editing, and same with the center front because I want to do that V-neck again. But they are not cutouts, so I do need to make sure that it is a straight line. Cut and sew. Don't know why I did sew, because I don't need it to. I'm leaving the collar here for now, because I might want to use it to separate the front, but we'll see. So I'm making sure to move it the same amount on each side. Okay. So as I'm moving it, I just hold shift and then I click right click, and then I'm making sure to do 80. This is only because I removed the symmetrical editing. This is fine. This is expected. It was just weird that it was like wigging out. Okay, so I do want to give him a little collar. I'm not gonna do like a little... I'm not gonna do like a fancy collar. Come here. But because I removed that... Let me make this transparent. So because I removed that center front piece, it's further from the neck than it should be for a collared shirt, so I am going to have to move them back. Both the back and the front at the same time. Which is fine, and I just need to move the front pieces upward. Control C, Control D. And then where's that sewing? There we go. Okay, so it's a little bit higher. His arms are out, that's fine. This is actually going to go underneath something else, so I don't mind it being so square. But see, it's faster now because I have less fabric in my scene. I have less things. Let's see. Is this close enough? Close enough for government work. I'm just going to give him a Mandarin or standing collar. So 239.4. 239.4. 239.4. From front to back. It is not perfect by any means, but B, I want that mark. Add 0.2 pattern start. Gets me my segment line here. And lets me make my collar a bit stiffer, so let's actually see. Control C, Control D can make, oh, actually I'm not gonna do that. I wanna do unfold. Unfold with symmetrical editing, and now I have the front and my back pattern. And I'll let it kind of cause that collision issue. Yeah. Sort yourself out now, thank you. And sewing the back. Don't know why that didn't apply. So just to get the correct color shape, this does need to go, I'm going to make this a little bigger. Just so it'll actually stand a little bit better. It's standing relatively fine right now. I do just want to slash and spread from this point, and then I want to actually go up a little bit. Not a lot, but a little. So it'll match the curve. So if we do choose to lace it, then it'll be like a little perpendicular standing mandarin collar. Little short collar type of a thing. This will be also strengthened. Because we can choose to lace it up if we want, but for now, we're going to save this as a basic piece. Let me see. I'm trying not to add too many small details to this, because it will need to go underneath something else. Because that's when I can do the details. We're also going to pretend this has like a facing. And we will give him those little poet sleeves. Let's fix that too. Convert to curve point. Clean yourself up here. Yeah, fix that color a little bit. Thank you. Okay, so let's see. No one's going to see it, but we know it's there. So we're going to give him a cuff that we can change in a bit. I'm going to choose cut and sew. Simulate for a second. And do the same to both. Control H. I'm using Control H to strengthen the pattern piece just so it's not gathering, for example. I think this is rolled. Why are you rolled? Come on. We know this is going under the gambeson, but you know, we want him to have a shirt. Same thing, I'm just going to make the sleeve wider. Make the sleeve a little wider, but I am increasing the width at the wrist. So that it's focused there instead. I'm gonna, make this a bit smaller and not cattywampus. That would be super. There we go. There's his little basic shirt that's going to go underneath his gambeson that we're only going to see this part of it. But it's there. So we're going to save this. File, save as, project. It's not a completed poet shirt just because of the time it would take to make it more detailed. We can do that once we're going down into the details. But for now, we can take this, delete it. Actually, I should do file new. And we can work on that gambeson. Get us about halfway there. Where are my gambeson pictures? It's less complicated when you start breaking down an outfit, because then you can make each piece. And then you put it all together. And then it's very complex and dense. So for the gambeson, we will do... I'm going to grab that basic shirt that everyone has again. And I will use that one that was big and floofy. This one. No. So this one's not nice and fitted like that other one. So let's go ahead and do that now. I'm holding X to apply a segment point here. Come here, you. Making sure to do similar to the back side. A gambeson will be fitted a little bit more. And then quilted. So I'm making the under design first. Obviously, this is not accurate. And it may end up getting completely changed as we're doing this. Because I do like how this is much larger than that other pattern, because it's going to go on top. Yeah, actually I'm going to do... Oops. Doot. Grab the line and grab this line and then go out. And then let's transparent. Throw this there, throw these here. And I'm going to pull this lower. Because it should protect... Oops. Make sure to grab them both. His beautiful, beautiful dress. That is definitely too long for my liking. And here's where I can do the curve. So you can use the curve tool, or you can use the V hotkey, which is the curve point tool. I do prefer this just so I can control it a lot more than I can with Bezier curves. That is why you'll see me use them. I kind of like this. I almost want it to be smaller on him. Let's see. Because I am letting it affect the back a little bit. Because I could just keep it straight. Let's see. So right now we're just kind of messing around with the fit. Because if I leave it like this, I have to go out further. Trying to get like a nice little shape for him, even though I know it should just be a straight line. Let's see. Yeah, fine. His beautiful little dress. Trying to make this a like little tighter fitting on him, just because it's going to be quilted, but also like oh, that's why the hip line's too low on here. On here, okay. I was like, what's going on? Like this literally should probably just be a stick. A straight line, but you can see the problem solving of the silhouette at the very least. You're learning something. Fine. This is what they would have done anyway. I just don't like it. I'll make changes if I see fit. Or do this for now. Let's see. Internet, tell me a good historical gambeson pattern. Well, anyway. I'll leave it as it is, and then if I don't like it, then we'll make that decision then. I'm just going to do the basic quilted ones. Because this is the one that he stole off another guy. That's what we decided. So I'm using the offset along a curve, so I'm selecting the two lines that it's going to be going between, and I'm just going to do that quilt. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, depending on the design that you're doing. Offset as pattern along a curve. Sometimes it's awesome, sometimes it's not. Don't know why it's doing the curve of the armhole. Fine. Offset as internal line, and then we'll just do 50. Yes. Same thing, offset as internal line, 50. So at least it'll end up there. So that's where you can decide, depending on how you're quilting it, and how this closes. See, this is why I wanted to give him a nice little waist. But he would be wearing a sash that we talked about. I could also make this asymmetrical. Where is the chat? Don't do that to me. Okay. Because the gambeson is basically like a quilted coat in this case. It should flare and accommodate for the legs. Let me see. Because honestly, I mean, there, let me see. Here's an example of a gambeson. It's really just a straight piece. This one has mittens. So I could just do this and then give him a split in the center back. And then the front will not be permanently closed. But we could also do one on the side. But if we want to see his front piece, it should probably look... It should probably just be really simple. So let me add a collar to this. And I will give the split on the front as well. Hold on. I just wanted him to be pretty. Let's see. Oh, we'll also quilt the shoulders. This one should work fine. There we go. I'll do one more. Along a curve, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. So I'm doing all the design lines first because then I will apply a layer on top that will give me that quilted look. And this is also why I'm doing all of these in different layers, because this, I know this is going to fit over that shirt, but I'm not having to account for that in my patterning right now. And I don't have to worry about it taking up time in the simulation while I'm working. I really, really, really want to do like... really want to give him a nice little waist. I'm really tempted. We'll just, you know, we'll just put it there. Just to think about it. Just to think about it. Oh. Listen, I want him to be pretty. Okay, I just want to... Okay, there we go. Just a little bit. Like, I just want a little bit. Just a skosh. Just a hair. Just want a hair. I just want a little. Just a little bit, please. Okay, we'll make these a little higher, though. It's my fantasy, and I can do what I want. I do want to fix... Where is that? I will make the back a little lower, though. B, Z... Okay. We'll give him a even taller standing collar, so the same thing I did earlier. I think I'll leave this as is. Oh. That is funky. Hold on. C. A little less square on that back. And I will do the same thing, so I'm going to measure half of this neck, so 231.5, 1.5, and oh, not 5,050. M hotkey, thank you. And we're sewing this into the place. That way I can use the B hotkey. Add point to start of pattern, so I have my neck there. Unfold with symmetrical editing. So we're going to do the exact same thing we did earlier. And we're going to use that slash and spread tool on that neck point. Just pull it up a little bit. Convert to curve point, and then this ends up coming down. And then superimpose side, strengthen. And there's our little gambeson collar. Normally it would be closed, but you know, we're going to do what we want. And that way it's standing perpendicular to the neck. And same thing with this one. I'm going to apply the quilting. So I'm going to remove my symmetrical link, right click, offset along a curve. This one I'm going to do a couple more. Sleeves. He will have sleeves. This gambeson's not going to actually be sewn in. And let's see. I'm probably going to tie on. And I do want these to be a little narrower? I'm just looking at a bunch of like online gambesons. I think I want to just leave this as is. Ooh, you know what? You know what? I want to add some more specific quilting to the chest. I'm going to add some diamond quilting starting from here. So I'm going to do offsets as internal line. I think I might have to do this manually. You know what? I might actually cheat. So I just used the dart tool and I converted it to an internal shape. So I can have a diamond and quilt with it. Because I think that would be kind of neat to have... Okay, but I mean, I picked a weird spot. And they're close enough. I just eyeballed that. Align. Middle? Oh, wait, align. I can't align. Okay. I'm going to have to straighten it off. Okay. Once I do one, complete one, then I can, okay. Control C, Control V. Ah! This is what I get. This is what I get. We're gonna do it this way. The lazy way, where it doesn't actually have to match up. Where can you find dress shapes? You can find dress shapes in our Discord channel, in our pattern resource channel. Or you can, you know, I don't know what you mean by dress shapes. I mean, you can just look up dress styles and stuff like that. I don't know what you mean by shapes, though. Specifically. Okay, so I'm matching up these lines, and then I'm matching up the quilting points. These will not be perfect. And that's okay. We don't have to force it. I'm actually going to lock my pattern outline. So I've just right-clicked in the 2D window, and I'm locking my pattern outline so I can be more nimble with my quilting that I'm doing here. Well, I'm creating the quilting outline. Yes, yes, thank you. Close enough. And then I'm going to unlock all my pattern. Unlock, unlock. I'm adding point to intersection, so I'm right-clicking, choosing adding point to intersection. That's fine. Actually, I don't even need this one here. Oops. I need just this line. Oh, it's because I did it as a shape. Good. So I'm right-clicking and choosing divide internal line so I can delete the lines because I did specifically do it as a dart, and so this is what I have to do. Divide internal point. Oops. Divide internal line. Luckily, it's all happening on both sides as I'm doing this. Divide internal line. Selecting, oh, actually, bop. Add point to intersection. Almost done. Adding point to intersection. Dividing internal line, and then deleting as I go. Dividing internal line. And this is just helping me clean this up, because I did it the way that I did it. Last ones. And then these two I can just right-click, extend and trim and add point to pattern outline. Not that way. Just these two. Extend and trim, pattern outline. Extend and trim, pattern outline. There we go. Yeah, when you ask a question, if you can just be a little more specific with your inquiries. And I do want to give this the crisscrosses too. But I will do this in a different way. Offset as internal line. Extend. We'll do more. There. And then extend and trim to pattern outline. Control C, Control R. And then I can just place it directly. Not directly, apparently, but on top enough. There. Close enough for government work. So now we've got the beginnings of our gambeson. And we'll get to do the really cool fun part, and then the stream will be over for this week. We'll continue this next time. Most definitely. Where is it? Add points to intersection. Divide internal line, and delete. Okay. So, because I'm making this gambeson, it needs to be quilted, right? So let's go ahead and do that. So cleaning, making sure to make this nice and clean with my UVs, at least for now. So I'm going to align this. Except for this one. Align this at align top. So I've aligned them all at the top just to make my life a little easier. That's fine. They're not colliding. Control A, right click. So I'm making a quilted gambeson. So what I'm doing is going to choose layer clone over. You could do under, but I'm going to choose over in this case. So now I have a layer entirely over it, and it has sewing relationships to every single internal line. And here I will be using the pressure again. So the top is going to get positive pressure, and the bottom is going to get negative pressure to create that quilted look. So we're going to do positive 20. We'll try positive 20 for the top, and negative 20 for the bottom. Oops, make sure. Yeah, I did collision thickness. 20. And let's give it a fabric before we, or at least a fabric property before we do this. Presets. I want to choose. I'm going to choose a cotton sateen just for the sake of it. And then we'll not make it teal, but we'll do a blue. Okay, and then simulate. And that will give us our little quilted gambeson look. I might need to make this slightly larger, but that is okay. It looks like I do want this to maybe be a little bit more, but we can also do this. If I don't want to increase the pressure, I can remove my, I can remove my link to editing. Remove link to editing. And I can make this slightly larger, just holding it diagonal. So everything's going to be slightly larger, which means it's going to apply the pressure and the quilting to the top portion. Let's see. And we just gotta need. What's going on over here? What's going on over here? Superimpose over. There we go. So now I'm getting more of those wrinkles. And the smaller pieces are going to need more. A larger difference. Just to get that pressure. I did choose. Yeah. And you can increase the pressure too. So let's just, for the fun of it, because we're at the end of this for today, we'll do 30 pressure and then negative 30. So always make sure that it matches. So now we have the start of our of our gambeson. I might need to fix that. Just a little bit. It looks like he's got pantaloons on the side here. Let's fix that. This was a fitted shirt, so I'm not surprised. It's a little booty window. I'm like, maybe we don't want that. Maybe we do. The rogue's like, I'm never gonna get struck in the butt. Come here. Let's see. I mean, it should be on the side too. I can also do this. B. To accommodate for that strain. Yeah, I think that works. Oh no, did that slide up? I didn't want to slide up. Alright, we'll try that again. There we go. Why? I don't get to have my fancy sides. A girl can dream. And this girl has dreamed. But this dream has become a nightmare. A booty window nightmare. Booty, booty. Okay. So we'll fix this next stream. But we'll keep going. But that's what happens. That's why you want to check your fit also ahead of time. I know that it fits enough that I can put clothes inside and underneath it. But as we saw here, I'm like, oh, I made it too tight. But is it too tight when I give it the when I apply pressure? Because that does change how the fit will work. I do also need to. So now that we've done that, actually I just need to do this. Layer clone over. Remove linked editing. And that's why you do the design lines first with these, especially. It makes it a lot easier to work. Oh, that should be positive 30. Because this should be much larger than it is, unfortunately. And I didn't do that. For our rogue here, this is what drove him to become a rogue, is just us do the making of this. It's like, this is why I do this. This is why I'm like this. You made me this way. So So I'm strengthening the lower layer just so it maybe doesn't pop out as much. Trying to make him a little more decent before the end of the stream here. No more booty window. I will have to fix this though. It's because it's longer and it's pulling up. So I might make some changes. But this will at least get us there. No more booty window. No more. But we will save this as a project, not as a garment, because we're still working on it. Save as project, not a t-shirt. And that's why we're doing all of these in pieces, because it's easier to work. You probably needed the booty window. Here, we'll do it this way, and then I'm going to make it the exact same. Now you can see I stiffened it underneath. Simulate. This has negative pressure. That is giving us the quilting. I'm going to make it the same size, and then we'll call it, just so we don't, not close in the turtle shape. Layer clone over. Bop. Positive 30. Last time. I'm probably not going to make it wider that way. I'm probably just going to make it wider to the side. Oops. But that's why you want to remove the linked editing. But we're going to leave it at that, and then we'll touch on it tomorrow. Let's see. Okay, so that's going to be the 3 pieces for now. We will finish this, hopefully finish this on the next stream. Excuse me, what are you doing? Excuse me. Thank you. Do you not have the right pressure? Oh yeah, this one needs to be thicker. You can see here also why it's good to keep an eye on what you're doing here. Yes, yes, I know. We'll make this one not staple anymore. There you go. Stop, pitch, and fits. Thank you. There's our beautiful gambeson t-shirt that we will continue next stream, because it is already 2. Gosh, those shoes just take forever. That's why I normally don't make shoes. But thank you guys for joining us today. We will continue this next week, and we will make his piece. Let me have at least have a last appearance. Yeah, the collar is just like, what you doing? Okay, it's fine. I'm just gonna stop simulating. It's because I need to do some editing that I need to make it a little bit bigger on the top. That's why I need to do it that way. The collar has chosen to be the last thing that wanted to say hi to everybody. Thank you guys for joining us today. I will see you guys in the Discord. We'll continue this next stream. But we will, I'll open up another stream chat for what you guys want to see, or I'll just open another suggestion tab on Discord. But thank you guys for joining us. I will see you guys next stream. I guess I'll give you the Discord link before I forget. Oh, I have so many tabs. So that you guys can join us over there. The little high collar. He wants to pop his collar. And okay, that is going to the Discord. Thank you guys for joining us. We're going to finish this later, and we may or may not continue and let him have that booty window. We'll see. But have a good rest of your day, night, evening, morning, and I will see you guys online. Bye.